Today I've been checking out Funko Fusion, which came out yesterday. It's $41.99 on Steam, but you can get it on consoles as well. So what is Funko Fusion? Well, I was a little bit confused. It seems like it's made for older fans. It has The Walking Dead, Battlestar Galactica, which I can imagine not many people knowing about, Hot Fuzz, He-Man, but I'd say the gameplay is very Lego-y and kid-like. Describing it as a more adult-y feeling Lego game wouldn't be too far off. You do have a bit of violence in there. You do have a bit of gore in there as well. So it's definitely catered more for the adults in that style. And it plays like a Lego game. You get into the level, you kill lots of basic enemies, collect materials by hitting everything. So if you hit a car, you get materials out of it. You solve little puzzles, and then by solving them puzzles, you'll be able to complete the objectives, which then allow you to complete the level, which unlocks a key and a crown, and then you move on to the next level. For your money, you get characters across TV, movies, games, and comics. There's Jurassic World, Back to the Future, Drawers, The Thing, Chucky, Battlestar Galactica, Hot Fuzz, The Umbrella Academy, Five Nights at Freddy's, Masters of the Universe, it goes on. There are 20 different IPs in the game with 4 characters of each, so there's a lot here. However, this game is primed to be monetized to hell. And also, I got given the DLC and I have no idea how to access it. So how the game works is you pick a starting IP. I picked Hot Fuzz. I love that film. You then move into your hub area, in this case it was like a little Hot Fuzz one, and you play the missions inside that zone until you lock enough crowns to unlock the next area. I picked Jurassic World next, rinse and repeat on that. Then I picked Battlestar Galactica. The levels are kind of based on things from the film or TV show. So the Hot Fuzz level had the church where the reporter gets killed, the exploding house, the hotel where a lot of action takes place. It even had the little fences, where they bounce over, and the swan shows you around. It was also recognizable and it had little nods to the IP it was shown. This was the same as the other IPs as well. There's also fun little cutscenes and intros, like the Cylons in Battlestar were watching Knight Rider, because they both have the light thing going side to side, which I thought was quite funny. And the Hot Fuzz one had things from the Hot Fuzz TV show, like when they're getting all the guns and stuff like that. There is lots of throwbacks there. To be fair, the levels were really well designed. That's a real plus point of the game. I've seen 4 of the IPs so far, and they all look great, so hopefully that continues across the rest of them. They do try and hit that Lego humour during the cutscenes. I would say some lands and some don't, but there was the odd chuckle as I played. Gameplay wise, no matter what the IP, they all play kind of the same. They're in that Lego vein, as I said. There's the odd thing to change it up here and there, like solving crimes or having to shoot something a couple of times to open doors or solve little CCTV puzzles. But generally, you get your 4 characters from the show. They'll have different types of weapons and skills. You can find them in Funko boxes dotted around, and you can kind of hit the boxes and select a different character. There's also things around the world as well where you can get upgrades, different weapons, and craft stuff. One small issue I did have though is I think they should let you explore some of the IP before picking one to play. Maybe a fun hub area, because once you pick it, you're kind of stuck with it until you get those crowns to progress. It would have been nice to see what you're going to play or what levels might be given to you. The biggest gripe I have, though, is that progress is super confusing. You can be looking around levels for ages to what to do next, where's this thing? Where do you want me to go? There's very little positive signpost in here. It would have been really handy to have in some parts. Also, the tutorial is super lacking. Doesn't tell you half the stuff you need to know. I can see this getting super frustrating for some players. Graphics wise, the game looks fantastic. The level of details in the areas are so good. Cutscenes are well done. However, for some reason, subtitle text in certain parts of the level are super low quality. I think when they've done it from a console port, they haven't worked on the upscale into PC properly, because the text especially is so blurry. Sound design, the music's all right, but it does get super repetitive, and there isn't any voice acting either. But the sound in the game is pretty decent. One thing to make you aware of, it's very buggy. People are reporting issues with save games, deletions, crashes, and stuff like that. I can't say I experienced any of this, but you may want to be aware of that and wait until this has been fixed. So in conclusion, I think this game hits a bit of a weird market. I don't feel like it's aimed at kids or adults, maybe pop culture teenagers? I don't know. The gameplay wasn't quite exciting enough to keep me engaged, but I must say I loved the Easter eggs, throwbacks. All these shows are my kind of shows. I felt like the dev understood what they were doing with the levels and trying to make it fun, but also not make it for kids. But I feel like they missed that a little bit. The gameplay is just a bit too simplistic, a bit easy, and just not quite adulty enough, I would say. The main competitor here are the Lego games, and it's good to see someone competing against them. Would I recommend it though for £40? Plus there's already paid for DLC, plus there's going to be way more. I'm not so sure. That's a lot of money. But you know, it's not a bad game. It's functional, and there's fun to be had here. I just wish the gameplay changed up a little bit sometimes and was a bit more fun to play. Anyway guys, that's all I've got to say on the matter. Catch you all later. Goodbye.